From the News Talk STL studios in St. Louis, it's The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. Tonight, the skinny on Iran with former Army spy Pete Turner, Jeffco County Executive Candidate Tim Whitney, and the Right Mind Studio Band Mitch Murphy and the Murphy Tones. Now, putting the fun in your dysfunctional world, here's your host, Todd Showalter.
I am so excited. Ask me why I'm excited.
Why are you excited this week?
I am so excited. I have a new invention. You know what a master inventor I am, right?
You got a lot of time for yourself.
Well, sort of, but not. I mean, I came up with cordless electricity, right? And also the microwave clothes dryer. But now I've got a brand new invention that I've come up with. Ask me what it is.
What's your invention?
My invention happens to... Oh, you remember last week, right? We were talking about how everybody's mean to me on social media. They call me names and want me to die and stuff like that. So I have come out with now, are you ready for this? Anti-social media. What do you think of that? Not social media, anti-social media. It's the perfect platform where everybody can just be mean to each other all the time. It's kind of like it is right now, but we actually have it branded as anti-social media. What do you think of that one? Is that as good as cordless electricity?
Are you receiving more death threats on Instagram?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm getting all kinds of things. And remember the guy that would do the little piece of poop with my name on it?
Yeah.
That's all back now. And so now they're like taking different pieces of feces, putting my name on it, and that's supposed to get me upset. But it didn't, because instead it inspired me to come out with what? Anti-social media. Oh, we did that in harmony.
We're going to make a lot of money on this.
Money. We're going to make that what's his name? Zuckerberg or whatever? We're going to make him look like he's poor when we come out with this, because everybody likes to be mean on social media. It's like a universal thing, and we're going to profit off of it because we're going to have anti-social media. Everybody's going to flock to us. And why were you so mean on your mom for her birthday? This is the saddest story you told me. I don't mean to jump right into this, but you got her hopes all up about her big birthday thing. And, you know, I'm a big birthday guy, okay? And you apparently, tell the story. You promised her something that she was really looking forward to. You pulled some trickery and ruined her birthday? What is this all about?
It was Mom's big 6-0, which means I'm 80 years old? No, I forget. She was 20 when she had me? Hey, who cares? But what happened was we had to lie to her to get her out of the house. She doesn't like leaving the house too much. She's a bus driver in an old folks home, and she gets a lot of guff from those people.
Really? Like
They're always
what?
saying, like, my kidney's hurt. I need to go to dialysis, and just bossing her around.
Right.
And so she likes to relax on the weekends, and sometimes part of that is going to see live music with some of her friends. So they said, we're going all the way to Alton, baby.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to that place that has the nickel shrimps with the poop still in it and the 25-cent burgers. And we're going to have a great time watching live music and smoking out on the patio.
Oh, wow.
And she lives in Hazelwood. And so they pull out of her driveway, go about a block, and then pull into Mattingly's. Not the shrimp place in Alton.
No.
Mattingly's, I think, is named after a very famous baseball player or something.
Don Mattingly, I believe.
It's a nice enough place, but they don't have nickel shrimps. So as soon as they pull in, she is very much let down.
Oh, no.
And they say, we got to go in and get some napkins. It's going to be a messy drive all the way to Alton because our coffee might spill. And so they go in to get some napkins, and then 30, 40 people pop out of the corner and say, happy birthday. You're not going to Alton.
That's the meanest thing. Was it Don Mattingly that popped up? And
he
said
was there.
He was actually
there. He had his little clam mitt, and he was punching it like, throw it in here, baby.
What? Now, your mom, she's a school bus driver, but it's not a school bus. It's an elderly bus driver for old people.
Yes.
Okay, so had she ever just announced to everybody, who wants to die today? I mean, has she ever done something like that? Because I think that would be really kind of funny. I mean, that's just my sense of humor. That if these people are old, they're probably thinking about death anyway. And if she were just to slam on the brakes and say, who wants to die today? What do you think? You think maybe she'd do it?
Well, she used to smoke cigarettes, and when she got around all these oxygen tanks, they said, you got to cut back because you blew up a few of them.
Sure.
So now she's switched to vaping. She's going to get popcorn lung, but at least there won't be any explosions over there off of Howder Shell when she's driving the old people with their oxygen tanks.
How long has she done this? Has it been a long time?
It's been a few years. How do you transition to moving into the old folks home when you worked there as the bus driver?
Well,
one day, do you become like 69 and a half? So in 9 years, she's going to say, I think I need someone to drive me around now. Do you get a free scholarship if you work there? Can you get a free apartment at the old folks' home?
It's probably like a work study type of thing. Yeah, it's something like that. I wonder if she's tried. How long has she been there, did you say?
A few couple.
Okay, I wonder if she's tried I always do the grandson one, but she could probably do the granddaughter one, where you go up to some of these old people that maybe are starting to have memory issues, and you pretend like you're the grandchild. And you say, oh, hi, Grandma. You forgot my birthday this year. And they, oh, I'm sorry, honey. Let me have my checkbook. I'll take care of that. And then they write you a check right there on the spot, thinking that you are the grandchild, even though you're not. And then you make some cash. Mm-hmm. Has she tried that?
She has not tried that, but I think that if anyone caught her doing that, they would put her in an old folks. Oh, I guess it would work out.
Well, you're there. You're already locked up. You can't get out because those doors are like steel clad. Are you used to like daylight savings time yet? This is the stupidest thing. I thought we were done with this. Which one were we getting finished with is where I'm going. I mean, are we supposed to keep it fall back or spring forward? Because it takes me a good 12 or 13 minutes to get used to this every time we do it. So is this the official time we're supposed to be? This is really boring, but is this really where we're supposed to be, or was the last one where we're supposed to be?
This is our daylight saving era. Do you feel it? We look different. We have a different glow about us. Oh, I got so mad the other day. The very first day where it was daylight saving on Monday, I was so excited to have daylight so I could go run around Forest Park and really get that lactic acid running through my coccyx.
Through your what?
Yeah, and then I got offered a movie screening. And so I said, yeah, I'll go to this horror film. It was called Undertone, and it was garbage. The movie was so bad.
Why?
It made me mad that I wasn't out on a walk instead enjoying the park. It was one of these horror films where nothing happens and there's no gore. It was actually about people who do podcasts, and they get sent audio of people being murdered and haunted by demons, except you never see it. They just listen to audio of murders. It's the worst low-budget film idea you could ever imagine because this girl, she's listening and she goes, oh, that sounds scary. And it's 90 minutes long of that. It was awful.
Really?
It made me so mad that I should have walked out and enjoyed more of the sunlight, and I said, no. There's no way they tricked me into watching a bad movie. Let me sit here for 88 more minutes and see how it goes. Oh, it did not work out.
And they just play trickery on you. That reminds me, if this is like a crime type of thing, I told you my wife and I are really into our murder shows right before we go to bed because it puts us in a nice, peaceful mind, okay? And so, but here's the thing. I've always kind of like, played with you because you and the lovely Erica have been together for a long time, but you still haven't actually tied the knot. You're not officially married, but you're a couple. I used to think, I know. I used to think, well, what is it with that? But after watching all these murder shows, you are a genius, okay? Because you have it right. Because I got to tell you, almost every one of these brutal, horrible murder shows, it's always the spouse. It's like always, and it's like I wasn't there. I was up at the corner wanting to know where I was. It was like some horrible alibi that doesn't work. But in 9 times out of 4, it is always the spouse. So you've saved your life by not getting married.
Did you hear about this former NFL player that murdered his girlfriend?
Yes.
And then asked ChatGPT, how do I get away with murder?
Yeah, right. Well, what did it say? Because does ChatGPT, is it for everybody? Like, does my ChatGPT know what this guy did, or does everybody have their own ChatGPT version?
Mm-hmm. Well, ChatGPT is actually sending all of your message directly to the police.
Okay, all right.
And they read this guy's ChatGPT messages out in the courtroom, and he said, what?
Really?
I thought that was like patient-doctor confidentiality.
Oh, really?
Nope. ChatGPT sold him out. He said, how do I make it look like my girlfriend fell on a knife? And they read that out loud in the courtroom.
Wow.
So this is a warning to everyone. Please, if you're going to murder, do it with pen and paper.
Right.
Write a letter to ChatGPT. Don't be saying it into your phone or near your phone at all.
Well, it's like the people at the Google searches and all that. They'll put in there something like, how do I get rid of a body? Or you ask Alexa that, and the next thing you know, you got like the popo at your house. I mean, it doesn't work that way. But speaking of ChatGPT, I got to tell you a good story about this, and this is the honest to gosh truth. Again, because everything on this show is almost true. And the thing is, last week, after doing this show, we had one of those like rainy kind of misty days. It was really kind of crappy outside. I pull into the garage, all right, and I have like this whitish steam coming out of my car. And I'm thinking this is going to be expensive until I think, ding, ding, ding. Not for me. I've got ChatGPT. All right, I opened the hood, which took me about 3 days to figure out how to do. I don't even know.
You got to give it a reach around and like tickle the pickle, and then you can find the latch.
And it was enjoying
the magic spot.
And I think it was good for me, too. When I finally got it open, get this, are you ready? I took a picture of where the steam was coming out, and ChatGPT comes back to me and says, can you take a wider picture? And so I take a wider picture of everything underneath the hood. And first, it scolds me for having like dead leaves and gosh knows what else underneath it. And then it says, just take off the cap of this coolant tank and put it back on.
No.
Oh, yeah, I did. And so I took it off and put it back on. And it said, try it now. And so I tried it, and no more steam. It saved me thousands of dollars, which, thousands of dollars. You know how many trips to Aldi that is?
And the flesh is melting off your face right now.
But that's okay. That's okay because it was worth it. I don't care. The face has been a little worn for a while here, but I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on my car if I don't have to. Well, in the meantime, I'm Todd Showalter along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. This is The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, the skinny on Iran with former Army spy Pete Turner. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who is not a spy, but is very good at seeing the hidden images and magic eye posters ever since his retina detached from his head, Todd Showalter.
Hey, we're back. I'm Todd Showalter along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. And on the line now is the one and only Army spy, among other things, Pete Turner. How are you, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm great. Always fun to be on your show with you, Todd.
Well, I was just on your show. I had a great time doing that, too. Usually, nobody invites me to be on their show because they say, no, it's really going to wreck everything. And so thank you for giving me a chance on that. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Good time.
You did wreck everything, though, didn't you?
I know. Well, that's why you said you can never come back. But, I won't go into the details of that. Hey, I want to ask you, there's so many things that you're involved in, but I want to jump right into this Iran situation because you're, that's your field of expertise. You're an Army spy and all that. Just to jump into it, what's your take on everything going down right now?
Well, I mean, I've fought the fight with those guys. They would hang the EFPs, the roadside bombs, as the president calls them, in the trees around my friends and I. And we were having a competition, and it's called war. And so I have no problem looking at how Iran has damaged Iraq's future, damaged America's future, how they've destabilized the region, their open disdain for the state of Israel. When the leader of the entire country was publicly calling for the nuking of Israel and the U.S., the Israel and U.S. get to believe that. Their neighbors get to believe them, that they are a bad actor, that don't have intentions towards positive collaborative things. So they built this, we believed them, and then now they're paying the price.
Yeah, and one of the things I think I get a little confused about whenever I hear people say, well, we shouldn't be messing with this, and we should be paying attention to, what's going on in our own backyard, so to speak. And I'm thinking, well, if these people blow up the world, it kind of is our backyard. So don't you think, you've got to think on a global level with this thing, because they are, you can't rationalize with them. You can't negotiate with them. And if they're threatening nuclear apocalypse, what are you supposed to do? I think it had to be done. It wasn't just a matter of should we do it. We kind of had to do it, don't you think?
Yeah, we did try negotiations. We did try deals. We tried the same thing with the Palestinians. And, those places, those countries who are partnered with Iran, they don't keep their word. They don't keep their deal. And so, they raise the cost for that. And I would say, here's the one way to look at it. When October 7th happened to the Israelis, we heard a common trope. It was, there's a failure of intelligence. Well, this is the opposite of that. We saw a threat, we analyzed it, said we need to stop it, and we acted. So you can't say, hey, there's a failure of intelligence when there's a threat and we identify it. This is an actual thing. They were not cooperating. They were continuing to not cooperate. They were continuing to threaten people. They were continuing to fund instability, terrorism. They've harmed a lot of people and destabilized an entire region for almost 50 years. So yeah, we get to say we see it. We have your reports. Yeah, I mean, Mossad, I said, gosh, they're all over Iran. When you know that much and you have an attack, it's fair to attack them. They deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you look at what happened, and we have like Afghanistan. It was like a 20-year situation. We have Iraq, similar. I mean, do you think this is going to be a quicker operation, or do you think this could drag out?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the future of this. I'm like a lot of people. I'm skeptical. It's hard to do this stuff, and if you leave the Iranians to their own devices, they will come up with their own solutions. That's just a fact. Mm-hmm. And so we'll have to partner, and it will take a long time. Here's the down the road picture that we can possibly infer. We built a wonderful relationship with Jordan. We taught their military how to do things, got them modern weaponry. Same thing with a lot of the other Arab states around there. We've spent a lot of time and energy developing their military capacity, and their governments, their people, their military, they love it. They love that for us. So if we can maintain, and we're not in charge of those countries, right? So if we can maintain a similar approach where we teach, train, develop, and can just calm them down, man, if it's possible, that'd be ideal. But we also love to control things, man. We love to get involved and try to create outcomes that we don't know how to build.
Okay. Well, what about the war itself, or if you want to call it conflict, or whatever? I mean, whatever the label of the day is. God forbid. Do you think that we are going to have to eventually put boots on the ground there? Or do you think we can still handle it the way we're doing it?
We should always be skeptical of the federal government. They're going to do things in their interest before ours. We should always hold that kind of contempt, no matter who's in charge. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, when we say boots on the ground, what do we mean? When President Obama said, we no longer have combat troops in Iraq, and they showed pictures of MRAPs driving out like we were all leaving, I was in a chow hall with a bunch of field artillerymen. We were squarely in Baghdad. So we didn't really leave. It was just, and it's not a knock on President Obama, but how do you couch this? If you're going to teach and train the military and the government of Iran, you need boots on the ground. And so is that boots on the ground? If guys look, it's a dangerous environment, but day to day, is it dangerous? Not really. I mean, for warriors, it's not. We're like, yeah, nothing's going to happen today. And then maybe 2 people a year or a month die in that conflict. Is that boots on the ground? Maybe, but also someone has to go in and help these folks out. Someone has to teach the military. Someone has to be present. So are we mad about that kind of presence? I don't know. If you're picturing like trench warfare, like what's going on in between Russia and Ukraine, that's not what we're talking about here. So do I think boots on the ground? Yeah, there's boots on the ground in most of the nations on the earth. We don't get mad about that because it's a different thing. So as long as it stays in that small footprint, and we have a lot of smart people, very, very smart, that spend their entire careers understanding this stuff. They write papers and we try to follow their plans. So I would say boots on the ground are going to happen, but it's not the kind of boots on the ground that you might envision. It's not like a movie. It's like a very boring, on occasion, deadly tour, but you're also making a difference. And if not us, who do you want training their military? Who do you want coaching up their government officials, if not us?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to leave it in a situation like Afghanistan where you just pulled up and left people hanging. I mean, you want to put some type of system in place. As far as you look back, you brought up Obama, okay, and we had that situation. Right. It comes up where they left, the millions or whatever, how much money on the airstrip and things like that. Then we have other situations like where we left all of our weapons behind in Afghanistan. You've got all these little things like that, not little things, big things. Do you think those contributed to where we're at right now that kind of forced us to be in the situation we're in?
Yeah, if you ask the diplomats, they just needed more time, and they'll always say that. And a really good friend of mine, he passed away earlier this year, but his was Dr. Robert Hunter. He was an ambassador to NATO. And he's like, I know how to solve these problems. There's other people who know how to solve these problems. We just need time to do this. We can make this happen. I've got friends who work inside the Witkoff and Kushner circles that are always trying to close these scenes. These things are possible, but also you get to believe that Iran has bad intentions. And look, we build intel packets all the time and say, hey, we need to target and kill this guy. When President Trump decided to take out Soleimani, that wasn't the first time Soleimani's packet was on the president's desk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are bad people doing bad things. And so at some point, somebody convinces the boss that, hey, we need to do this thing. So these things aren't as black and white as we want them to be. They're actually pretty messy. And there's a lot of failure involved in all of it. You have to withstand that to get to the end of this thing. Afghanistan did not work out. We also didn't train like we wanted it to work out. There's a lot of problems that we created ourselves. So all of that goes into this thing with Iran. I think ultimately the answer is that we will find an uncomfortable spot to sit and deal with the fact that Iran now has to rebuild itself, now has to figure out how to move forward and be a partner with the world as opposed to an enemy. And that's not going to be fun. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be cheap. But it's also not a nuclear bomb exploding in Tel Aviv.
I was on your show recently. You have a great show. I mean, how's everything going with it? I mean, every time I talk with you, you've got more, big names coming on. I mean, what's new in the Break It Down show world?
It's a lot of fun, man. You know how it is. We get to meet people and just have these great relationships. I love being on the Break It Down show. We have, I don't know if you remember the band Lisa and the Cult Jam. We have the Cult Jam coming on. They're still out there making music.
Oh, wow.
And it's just a cool thing to be able to take these folks that are out there still doing it, don't get enough attention, and you're like, hey, yeah, come on the show and let's talk about what you're doing and the beautiful music. Their current album is called Love. Don't you think I want to talk about love on my show? Of course I do. So I love it. I think being able to run a show is great. So when you find a local creator that you like, or independent person, Todd or anybody else, support those folks. This is what they do. They try to make the world a better place.
Yeah, and it's a great show. It really is, and it's neat because what I like about you is that it's conversational. It's just give and take. It's not any hard hitting questions off the bat. I mean, if it delves into something later on that's deeper, so be it. But I like it. It's just like you're kind of listening to somebody's conversation at a party or something like that. So
yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want it to be like you get to eavesdrop into this incredible conversation because you and I have great conversation, so why wouldn't we share that? That's absolutely what I'm trying to do.
Well, it's a great show. Tell people how they can listen to it.
Yeah, pretty simple. Just go to YouTube and type in P.A. Turner or Break It Down Show. It'll come up, or go to breakitdownshow.com. Either of those places, you'll be able to find me. I'm not too hard to find.
Good luck with the Break It Down Show.
Same to all of you. Thank you very much.
All right, Pete, thanks so much. Bye-bye. Well, there he goes. I tell you what, he's got an illustrious career. He's done a lot of neat stuff. He's actually been, he's one of these guys that has actually been in the show, so to speak. So he's been in these wartime situations as a spy. And so you talk to people that are on the outside and they analyze and things like that. But this is a guy that was actually, in the battles himself. So that's kind of neat to kind of get it from his mouth as far as, what he thinks is going on. What did you think the entire time?
All of this boots on the ground talk reminded me of those comfy little sheepskin boots called Ugg.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Ugg boots?
That was like Tom
cute?
Brady's big thing. Remember that? He used to talk about wimpy. Tom Brady gave everybody on his team, like the O-line or whatever they call it. They do call it the O-line, but everybody on his team, he used to give them all Uggs as presents for blocking for him. Now, can you imagine, you have millions and millions of dollars. You're putting your life on the line to protect some guy that's not going to get hit anyway because you're not allowed to touch him. And what's your thank you for that? A pair of Uggs? I mean, I say thank you very much, not.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me, I was working at the fancy schmancy mall called Plaza Frontenac.
You did not.
And when I was working there at the movie theater, we had a beautiful lost and found box. The richest ladies who were very old. My mom probably drove them around at some point because she works at an old folks home. But they would leave behind just some of the best sunglasses, the best gloves.
Really?
And one time, a person left Ugg gloves behind.
Ugg gloves?
And of course, you let them sit for at least 24 hours so you don't get sued if you take them home. So after the 25th hour, I take the gloves home, I put them up on eBay, and I sell them for $60.
Get out of here. So you actually, this is a brilliant, gosh, dang darn it, you got some great ideas. So you're saying that you were employed at a place that I want to make sure I have this all straight.
A dark theater.
A dark theater with a lost and found that you knew was going to be some pricey merch in those things, and then you would resell this stuff?
And what was so miraculous on this eBay sale is that somehow it got returned back to me. It said undeliverable, returned to sender. The person doesn't live here anymore. And you know what I did?
What?
I relisted it on eBay and sold it for $60 again.
You are a genius, I tell you. What are we doing wasting our time here? Let's go get some. We took our pictures at that AMC. Well, I bet you they have like a lost and found.
So somewhere between that first person hitting buy on eBay and then it being delivered to their apartment, they died. They just straight up died.
They died.
As everything was in escrow, I guess. And it got sent back to me, and I never got in trouble for this. That person never contacted me again and said, hey, where's those gloves?
And that was it?
That was it.
You don't think it was the person that was at the movie in the first place, do you?
That'd be funny. No.
That'd be
And these
real
gloves,
funny.
they retail for about $180. So it's not like I was...
Gloves do?
That I was raking it in. I was only making $60.
Gloves cost $180. What are they? Are they gloves that come with like $120 in the fingers? What do you mean? Are $170?
Maybe Giselle Bundchen wore these because they were UGG gloves. You know
UGG
how there was
gloves.
UGG boots? It was the same brand.
UGG. It sounds like you're like, what? I can't even say that.
Now, UGG did come after me because I was using their logo
Get
in
outta
one of
here.
the pictures.
Really?
Because I had taken on a picture from their official website. You know, I had taken real pictures of the gloves, but I also took one from their website, and they said, nope, that's our brand. You can't use that.
You're kidding me.
So I had to relist it.
So they actually came after you?
And they did come after me. That's something you have to be careful when you're using someone else's IP. You can't really use their logos. Even though you're selling their stuff, how else are you going to describe it? These are UGG gloves. I can't say UGG.
Yeah, well, you would think something with the name UGG, they'd need all the help they could get.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
especially if they're like, associated with Tom Brady, who is, he's a great quarterback, but he's just kind of a girly man.
Girly man.
Girly man.
So speaking of the theater of war, a lot of movie stars wear UGG. There we go.
Really? Is that what it is all about?
We tied it back to the Break It Down show. Thanks,
oh,
Pete.
my God. Yeah, he's a great guy, great show. Yeah, everybody should check it out. In the meantime, I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. This is The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, Jeffco County Executive Candidate Tim Whitney. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who is kicked off of a movie set for being a meth head actor, Todd Showalter.
Hey, we're back. I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. And my other buddy is in the room here right now, Tim Whitney. I just saw you for lunch last week, and here you are. Now you're not following me, right?
No, I try not to, but I can't say I didn't. You're my favorite cartoonist, but I don't know if that rises to the level of stalking.
I don't have my extra quarter with me here today, but I'll pay you back twice next time.
You did say you'd pay me at lunch if I said those words, and I did it.
I did, but Joey needed a quarter for Aldi. Anyway, hey, you got so much going on. You're running now for county executive of Jefferson County, but you're part of the sheriff's department now, right? You still are a sheriff, or with the sheriff's department, correct?
Yeah, I'm actually the appointed undersheriff and chief financial officer for the department currently.
Okay, and so now you're transitioning because you will win, obviously. So tell us all about the campaign and what you got going on, and most of all, what you plan for Jefferson County. Because I was really excited to see your enthusiasm last week about what you'd like to do when you get on board. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, first and foremost, I'm going to start off with I really do love Jefferson County. It has been my home my whole life. It is where I've served for 24 years, which if you do the math on my age, means I've been a deputy for more years of my life than not at this point. It's something I'm incredibly proud of. The one frustrating thing I have is I tell you I love Jeffco, but the second you announce you run for political office, everything you say is now taken with a little bit of skepticism, right? Rightfully so. Politicians, tend to use things that are buzzwords and very popular to say to help win elections. But in my case, I truly love Jefferson County. And if you meet people who have met me, known me, worked with me over the years, I would attest that really is a true statement for me. So first and foremost, I love Jeffco, lived there my whole life. My family's been there for 3 generations. My wife Stephanie's a school teacher in Jeffco, where she's taught language arts for 23 years, and we're raising our 16-year-old daughter who's a sophomore in high school and my 13-year-old son. So we are the 3rd generation in my family in Jefferson County, hopefully raising the 4th. And if you can't tell after our conversation last week, I'm really bullish on the future of Jefferson County. I'm really excited about the future of Jefferson County. And that's really what got me motivated to, transition from, being in law enforcement to really looking at an executive leadership role outside of law enforcement within our county.
Okay, well, it's expanding quickly, and so one of the things I've heard from other people about is this going to become a new St. Charles? Because you saw how quickly St. Charles expanded and what they are now. Do you see? I mean, I've heard both sides of the table on this. I mean, some people like that idea, some people don't. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, the reality of our county is, our population is just over 230,000. The majority of that population, roughly 73%, lives in unincorporated county. So we're unique in the makeup of our county compared to any other county in the state. But we are starting to see tremendous pressure to grow. Largely, a lot of growth has went west into St. Charles County. We've seen some growth further north into Lincoln County. And now we're starting to really see pressure come south into Jefferson County. And that's really divided our community. You have some people who say absolutely no growth, and you have some people that say build, baby, build. And as we know, the reality is growth is coming. It's going to happen. It's how we manage that growth that's going to be important in the next decade. And what I mean by that is we have to be responsible. Some projects are going to be great for our communities. Other projects may not be a fit for our community. There is an agricultural part of our community that we probably need to be mindful and try to protect too. So it really is going to be threading the proverbial needle in the years to come, because many in our community want growth. Again, many don't, but the reality is growth is coming, and I think there is that perfect sweet spot. But to answer your question directly about St. Charles County, I don't think anybody in our community envisions St. Charles County. They certainly don't envision being St. Louis County. We really want to grow in our own unique way. We want to preserve the things that make our community great, but we are realistic that growth is coming. And I think it takes leadership that understands in the coming years the tremendous responsibility that is going to come with these pressures to grow and, again, getting it right, not just getting it done.
Well, what kind of challenges do you think you're looking at? I mean, if you had to, are there any hurdles that you're going to have to address and overcome?
Yeah, I think with growth comes hurdles for infrastructure, right? Because what happens in communities sometimes is they grow faster than the infrastructure is prepared for. And we've seen this happen in Jefferson County in the past. Let's take Highway 30, for example. I was at a town hall meeting the other day. I grew up on Highway 30. I know people who have died in crashes on Highway 30. That is an area that really, as the statement goes, outkicked its coverage. Because that area grew so fast and the infrastructure dollars weren't put in place to really make sure Highway 30 was prepared for the amount of growth that was happening around it. And now today, we're fighting for a better Highway 30, a safer Highway 30. So all these things happen without the infrastructure happening first, and that's going to be our biggest challenge. And while that's state infrastructure, and the county executive doesn't necessarily get to, wave a pen or go to the legislatures of the county, which is our county council, and ask for funding to do that, you do have to work with your state partners. And we're also seeing that on county roads. So if we have a road in rural county that, is windy, it followed the snake's path, is what they say about some of our roads, and isn't prepared for, just large volumes of traffic almost immediately. We need to be more forward-thinking, recognizing these are areas where developments may occur, and build the infrastructure on the front end, because, man, it's awful painful if that development's already there and now you're shutting down a roadway as you go through major infrastructure improvements. So I think it's easier and better to be more forward-thinking, but that's a challenge sometimes. And communities like ours that are experiencing growth sometimes miss that. And that's the one thing I don't want to see us miss. We have to be forward-thinking. We have to be proactive as the growth comes to us.
Okay. Well, do you see yourself developing almost as its own private community? Or I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I remember my family moved out to the Chesterfield area, which at the time was just cows and grass. I mean, I thought, what are we doing? I mean, we're out here, but everything continued to move further west and further west. And now we're seeing that, now, and we saw it with St. Charles and now you. Now, do you see yourself as a westward expansion of St. Louis, or do you see yourself more as its own entity, its own community?
I want to be unique. And I think most of the people in Jefferson County want to be unique. And if you talk to people, Jefferson County is very unique, right? We're an incredible, hardworking community. And I like to say everybody there loves their freedoms.
Right.
And so when you have a hardworking community of freedom-loving people, we recognize that we are different and we want to carve our own path. We don't want to be St. Charles 2.0. We don't want to be St. Louis County 2.0. We truly want to be something unique. We want to be the spot where everybody else goes, that's where I want to live. Right. That's my vision for the county, is being that place that gets it right. We experience the growth. We have the growth. We don't just give in and give up in terms of how we grow, that we are responsible in how we do it. and that we are that community that everybody wants to live in because we're the community that got it right. Whereas some people may say St. Charles did it too quick, too fast. St. Louis County did it too much. We want to be the one that finds that balance, and that's the trick. Again, that's threading the needle. It's going to be incredibly challenging from an executive's perspective, but it's a challenge I look forward to because it means there are going to be some tough conversations. But I think if we come together as a community and we have strong leadership, we'll get it done right.
Okay. Well, what do you think some of the main drawing points? If I'm a young guy and I have a young family, and you want you're going after folks like us. I mean, what do you think the main draw is? Because I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You got stuff like St. Louis where you have the crime problems, you have people flee. I think the St. Louis population is down to 2 or 3 people at this point. I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous. But people are fleeing all that. They want a different type of life. They want to, what are some of the things that you're putting in place or will put in place to kind of say, yeah, I'm going to be safe here. I'm going to have but I'm still going to have all the stuff that I want. Do you have like a master plan or a master idea that you're going for?
Todd, I love the question, right? Because you walked right into, what is the foundation and the bedrock of every community and something that Jefferson County offers, and that's safety.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And that seems like a very simple concept, but Jefferson County is an incredibly safe community.
Right.
By the numbers, we're one of the safest communities, not only in the state, but in the entire Midwest. And we have to make sure we maintain that. As we grow, safety needs to continue to be a strong component. My experience in law enforcement, as I said earlier, 24 years in law enforcement has taught me that, right?
Yeah.
And then certainly watching the city of St. Louis, who has not made their community a safe community. And we've seen the end result of that, which is businesses leaving, people no longer want to visit, all those things that happen. Are points that reinforce the necessity of having an incredibly safe community. So as county executive, that needs to be priority one, right, is keeping our county safe. I don't know that there's anything that needs to be done overtly in terms of XYZ has to happen to maintain that safety other than let's continue on the path we're on. We have an incredible sheriff who's done some incredible things in terms of safety. We have some incredible police chiefs. We have incredible fire and EMS and corrections people in our county. So let's maintain that and recognize that as the bedrock to the future of Jefferson County, because to your point, there are people moving to Jeffco simply because they are seeking safety. They want to go out and walk their dog. They want to know when they go to work that they're not going to be victimized while they're gone. So maintaining a safe community has to be priority number one, and I believe that is one of the biggest selling points that we have as a community. My daughter is 16. In a few years, she'll be spreading her wings, and I feel completely confident that if my daughter were to purchase her first home in Jeffco, that she is going to be safe. And I can't say that for all communities. But beyond safety, we are one of the most beautiful places in the entire state of Missouri, right? And we take it for granted as Jefferson Countyans, because if you drive down Highway M or 21 and you see all the rolling hills and the beauty, it's just something we see every day. But when a visitor comes to our county, they're like, man, this is tremendous.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great point to our county. And so when I talk about responsible development, we have to keep that natural beauty in mind too. And how do we thread that needle, keep our community beautiful as we grow? And so beyond safety, beyond that, we have an incredible workforce in Jefferson County. And the largest percentage of the people in Jefferson County actually work in St. Louis County or St. Charles County or St. Louis City. So we need to seek economic opportunities that are going to allow businesses to grow in our county, to allow people to actually stay in Jeffco. I always say I'm one of the luckiest people in Jeffco because I've got to live there my whole life and I've got to work there my whole life,
right?
As my wife has as well. And I want to see that opportunity for other people.
Sure.
And I think if we're able to create more jobs, I don't see any reason why a young person wouldn't want to live in Jefferson County.
Or even an older person, too. And you talk about, going back to the safety situation, even from a commerce standpoint, businesses are going to, as much as residents, businesses want to be safe, too. And that one of the major things with St. Louis, nobody wants to work there. Nobody wants to open an office there because all of the crime. If I'm going to be in a community, an area that I know is safe, not only for the residents, but also, my customers, my business, things like that. That is going to draw business as well as residents, don't you think?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And it seems strange times, right?
Yeah.
It seems strange times that safety is going to be your primary draw for businesses and people. It
primary needs.
Again, it is like the most basic of all primary needs, right?
Right.
In human history. So it's weird that we're at this political talking point today where safety is even controversial or in some way has to be discussed. discussed. But Jefferson County is safe. It will continue to be safe. I will always prioritize a safe community because, again, that's the foundation for it. I talked earlier about your infrastructure. So if your foundation safety, the framing of what you're trying to build in a community is your infrastructure. So if you are forward thinking, you build great infrastructure, you manage and maintain your great infrastructure, now you have the foundation, you have the framing, and you can build an amazing community off just those two things. Plus, we got some beautiful views. Beautiful views.
You really do.
Yeah.
And I mean, for people that don't know that, I mean, because a lot of times you'll go down 55 or whatnot. I mean, but nobody gets off, the side roads or anything. It is beautiful country, and that's really neat as far as having more of an awareness towards that. And I think as things do move further out, as they are, and you promising the safety, I think it could be a quick boom. I mean, I don't think it would have to take much time for that to happen. Now, again, you saw what happened in St. Charles. I mean, whether you're like that or different, but I mean, it could actually happen quicker rather than later.
No, I think you're absolutely right. We're already seeing the pressure, and we're having the communication with people, and little things like a festival in Jefferson County is incredible because a business owner comes to Jefferson County to go to a festival, and they look around and they're like, "This is an incredible place, right? I don't have to worry about somebody breaking in my car while I'm here, right? I feel safe. It's beautiful. The people here are amazing. That's one of the biggest draws at Jeffco is the people that live there. I may want to move my business here.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. And so those little things really do happen and they do matter. And I've talked to some people over at the Tourism Commission and they have stories of people who have said just that. I came here for the festival and I moved my business here and I moved my family here because this is what I wanted. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. The more people recognize our county and they see it for what it is. Jefferson County got a bad rap for a lot of years in the region, right? Like people thought it was a very backwards place or that it was a really rural place. And what they're finding is it's kind of got the best of both worlds, right? We have our rural areas, we have our suburban areas, but more importantly, we have incredible people. And as people are figuring that out, that pressure to grow is there. And again, I can't say it enough. We have to make sure we do it right. We do it in our own unique way, and that Jefferson County maintains its identity as a great community to be.
Well, again, like I said, last time we had lunch last week, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is because I've met a lot of people running for office, especially on this show. And out of all of them, I got to tell you, you're probably the most passionate about their community that I've ever had on the show. I mean, I know people have different reasons for going into politics and having campaigns, but you can tell, that you really are committed to the area, you love the area, and you really want to see it improve. And so anybody, and I'm not in Jeffco right now, but you would have my endorsement just for knowing that you're in it for the right reasons. You really love the area, and you want to see it succeed and grow. And you have my endorsement just from that. Because you can tell.
I truly appreciate it, and that means a lot to me. And I'm glad you see that because it is. And again, I started off talking about, sometimes people don't believe what you say when you get into politics, and I understand that. And there should be a level of skepticism, but it is a great community. I truly love it. I'm willing to leave a profession which I love dearly, which is law enforcement, that has been so good to me, because I think the next step for me in progression and doing what I can do to give back to this community that's given me so much. I told you about my family history. I truly feel this community has given me and my family more than I can ever give back, and I want to step into the executive role because I believe that is an opportunity for me to give back, and I think that passion will carry over. And it's not just me. I've had many conversations with directors in county government, with other elected people who feel equally as passionate, and we just need to get all that together, right? And we get all that passion together. I think we're already a special community, but I think we can take it even further. And I'd love to have a conversation sometime where you're like, I'm packing my bags and I'm coming to Jeffco. That is a great place.
You're definitely passionate about it, and that's really refreshing to see, especially after talking to a lot of people running for office and stuff. But it sounds like it doesn't sound like you are. You are in it for the right reasons, and I wish you all the luck, and I'll do anything I can, and I know Joey will too. Joey's. What are you doing over here? You thinking about your mom driving the bus?
I'd like to prove once and for all that Tim Whitney is not an AI robot. Some people have had questions.
Right.
He's been skirting around this one question the whole interview. What is Highway 30 called around the 270 area?
It's Gravois, but we don't call
said it
that.
right.
Gravois.
We don't say that in Jeffco. It is Highway 30, and if you're an old deputy that worked up there, it was the Dirty 30, right?
Okay.
But we loved it.
There
we
you
love
go.
our 30.
I think if anything, now you tried to pull some trickery on him here, right here, and throw him a curveball, but he knew the Dirty 30. I'm, you know what? I think I have some people I want to call that the Dirty 30. I mean, I like that, the Dirty 30. I mean, did you know it was called the Dirty 30?
I've always been scared that AI robots will take our jobs as broadcasters, but that's the one thing we've got going for us is as soon as a street is said wrong, the people will riot. The River Des Perez, all that stuff. Nope. Get them out of here. It drives them crazy.
You can never argue our butchering of the French language.
No, that's
in the St. Louis
true. That
region.
is true. I've actually heard people, I guess new people that are on the news now, they'll say Gravois. They can't say, how do you actually say it?
Doherty Ferry is how you pronounce it.
Doherty Ferry. I know Doherty Ferry. I'll tell you, you don't have to worry about AI because until AI can grow a mullet, okay, I'm safe. I don't know about you.
I'm growing it out right now.
Do it as we speak. Well, buddy, you got
have my vote.
You have any other last little nuggets you want to throw out there? It doesn't even have to be political related. It could just be, anything you want as long as it's not going to get us kicked off the air. But if you want to do that too, what a way for us to go off. The county executive, Jefferson County, got us thrown off the air. Anything you want to throw
That's
in
not a legacy I want, is getting Todd Showalter thrown off the air. Don't want that on my record.
You make a lot of people happy. I mean...
That's not what I want. No.
Okay.
I really appreciate you giving me the time here today, and I appreciate the kind things you said about me. Yeah. Jefferson County is a great place. I encourage everybody to look at it. You know, if you're looking to move, come look at Jeffco. We're an incredible community full of incredible people, and it's a place I can't be any more proud to have served my entire life, and to hopefully continue my service just as county executive. So thank you again for your time.
Hey, you're the guy. You're it. We've already decided right here, haven't we, Joey? That he's it. I mean, is there even an election? I mean, can we just say appoint him this now?
I don't live there, but I'm voting twice and 3 times for him
on Tuesday and Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing. Well, hey, did you have a good time with us here?
Great time. I really appreciate you having me here. So it's not every day I get to spend time with my favorite cartoonist, right? Having some conversations.
Is that
about
another
Jeffco.
Quarter? Because I mean, if we get up to 75 cents, that's my whole allowance.
It is. You said you'd pay every time I said it, and I'm going to keep saying it.
Fair enough. Well, I'll draw you a cartoon or something like that. A lot of people they make them angry. I mean, you may not want it until after you're actually in office because some people get angry. Oh, you know that guy?
Yeah, we've had the conversation. You've upset some people.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's just kind of what I do. Did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time. I'm feeling extra lucky for St. Patrick's Day this Tuesday now.
Oh, that's right.
Got you a bouquet of clovers I'm going to give you.
Fantastic. 4-leaf or 3?
2. I needed 1.
Perfect. I like that too. Well, you know what we always say, don't you?
We say it at the same time.
If you don't have a right mind, you don't have a mind at all.
Until next time, bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. To find out about all things Todd, go to toddsprod.com. We will see you next Saturday night at 5 p.m. right here on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL, and always streaming online at newstalkstl.com.